Tuesday morning broadcast. Guess what, everybody? The Sinai dinner is coming up. The annual campaign and benefit dinner happens on Sunday, February the 22nd. I know a lot of people in this audience know Sinai, but just in case you don't, we will review its history in a moment with Rabbi Rothwachs. Go to SINAIDinner.org, SINAIDinner.org. They are recognizing on Sunday, February the 22nd, which is 2 weeks from Sunday, Yaakov Karasik, Elizabeth Kratz, and Ron and Diane Strobel. They'll all be honored at the dinner at the Marriott Glen Point Hotel in Teaneck, New Jersey. Sinai takes care of kids and families in a whole variety of schools and places around our community. And Rabbi Yisrael Rothwachs, it is a pleasure to welcome you back to JM in the AM.
Hi, good morning, Nachum.
Good morning to you, sir. And it seems that the growth, thank God, at Sinai continues and that you've enjoyed yet another fabulous year since we spoke 12 months ago.
Baruch Hashem. We are really privileged to be entrusted by the community to do the work that we're doing, and yes, indeed we are growing.
And some of the schools have really gone out of their way, and maybe that's the wrong way of putting it, but you know what I mean, to accommodate Sinai and to expand with Sinai. I mean, you've seen a lot of growth, just actual physical growth in that area.
Yeah, we were. I'm not sure if this is what you're talking about, but we were about to do a capital campaign together with TABC. The building opened up this fall, and have you been inside?
Sure, it's fabulous.
It's beautiful, and we have space that we've dreamed of for a long time to be able to do the work that we need to. So, Baruch Hashem. Anybody who's in Teaneck.
Oh, so that space needs to be developed, is the point.
No, it's all done.
Oh, we need the funds.
No, I'm saying
because you said the capital campaign was done already.
It was done. We're not asking for any money. We've got it all.
Wow.
If anybody needs money, I'll give it to you.
Wow, how unusual to announce a capital campaign and talk about it in the past.
You've been doing this for how many years, and you've never had anybody tell you?
I don't think so. I'm trying to wonder here. Someone brings up a capital campaign. I'm like, automatically thinking about how to start raising money for it. All right, so Sinai is now in how many schools?
We are in 7 schools. At the Ray Kushner Yeshiva High School in Kushner, and at TABC, we just mentioned in Mayanot High School for girls, and then on the elementary school side at Kushner Academy, at YNJ, at SAR Academy, and at YCQ. All
right, so this obviously spans both New York and New Jersey, as you've indicated, and you're trying to service as many families as possible. The needs are incredible, and I know that. Again, I said the majority of this audience knows what Sinai is, but if you would just introduce it to those who may not have heard of it, what would you say?
Yeah, I'd say that we have the privilege of serving kids with special needs who are not caught by our mainstream yeshiva day school system. I sometimes speak with parents who are, and school communities who are outside of the tri-state area here, and where the needs are the resources are so much more limited.
Yeah.
And so the needs are very different. Here, Baruch Hashem, we live in a community where there's so much being done by our mainstream day schools, so much more now than they were 5 years ago, certainly even 10 years ago. And so there are a lot of kids who have different learning challenges who are being caught by the system and being, they're doing well, very well. So the kids who typically come to us are students who either have developmental disabilities or severe learning disabilities, often comorbid with ADHD or anxiety. I use the word severe because, again, kids who have more moderate learning disabilities are being served well by our mainstream day schools, Baruch Hashem. And also we have kids who are on the autism spectrum.
Those who are outside of New York and New Jersey, they sometimes consult with you about how to set up a Sinai in their community, and then do you have to disappoint them by letting them know how much work and how much money it takes to do it?
Yes, that's exactly how the conversation goes.
It's crazy.
But we are in the position often to be consulting with communities all around.
And you don't have to cite any examples, but has anyone been successful at this, at quote unquote out of town? Has anyone tried to replicate it and had some success?
Yeah, I wouldn't say like replicate it in terms of doing exactly the way that we do here. There are so many differences, but there are definitely communities that have come to us and built what they have in their own communities, modeled after ours. There's certainly differences, but we've been blessed to be able to help in that way.
How many people were at last year's dinner?
I honestly don't remember.
Was it close to
but
1,000? Would it possibly?
I would
800 to 1,000?
Yeah, no, I think exactly. I think it was about the 900.
And why do so many people, because there are a lot of organizations that are jealous when they hear that certain dinners get the number that I just mentioned. Why are so many people coming to the Sinai dinner?
Yeah, if I remember correctly, you were with us last
We were
year.
there.
Yeah.
100%. We were there for the Sprungs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think our school dinner is very different than any other school dinner in the sense that the most school dinners, you have the parents of the students, sometimes alumni, and other people who love the honorees who are there at that dinner. At our school, really most of the people in the room are people who are just machshiv, not just, who are machshiv the cause, who recognize that without Sinai, these children would have no other place to go. And they're not necessarily parents of children with special needs.
Right.
There are people who realize that just like our community has Tomchei Shabbos and Project Ezra and the Mikvah and Be'eruv and so many other things that are in shuls and schools, that this is another important piece of our community and everybody's there to support it. Something very, really, really super special.
I feel that it's a very inspiring night. And therefore it's not the regular people aren't going to like the way I say that. It's not the regular honoree format. I think it's done in a very inspiring and entertaining fashion. Plus, there are some bonuses to the night, which I'll discuss in a moment. But I highly recommend it. And those of you who are able to do it, February the 22nd, it's a Sunday night in New Jersey at the Marriott Glen Point Hotel in Teaneck. Just go to SINAIDinner.org, SINAIDinner.org. We'll talk about the honorees in a moment. But when I say something, extra or a bonus, or there's things that happen at your dinner that make it even more inspiring, I see that you are again going to feature a documentary. You're premiering a Sinai feature documentary called Ellie, right?
Yes.
It's the story of Ellie, a child with a huge personality and complex challenges, and his dedicated parents, Leo and Dina. So how did Ellie get to be the subject of a Sinai feature documentary?
It's really hard because when we talk about communicating with the community about who we are and who we serve, there's so many different kinds of profiles of students. So when we think of,
that's actually your theme, right? Wasn't that the theme on the invitation?
Yes.
Hashem created all people from the same mold, but no two are identical.
Wow.
It's a passage from the Talmud.
I'm very impressed.
Yeah, I study this stuff.
Our director of communications will be very pleased that somebody caught that.
They should have mentioned me to them.
So we have so many different kinds of students, and we work very hard in communicating to the community, to parents, prospective parents, that we are really so much more than that one child that your nephew, your neighbor, and so on and so forth. So we try very hard through our videos and through other communications in trying to highlight different kinds of students that we have. So you asked, how did we come to Ellie? Ellie is a student. Well, when the video shows that he was a student at SAR, Sinai at SAR, and now he is a student at Sinai at ABC. He's in ninth grade, and flourishing beautifully. He has, as our viewers will see, the really amazingly dedicated parents. So much of our success at Sinai is dependent on a really strong relationship with our parents. And when you have parents who totally get it, who'll do anything for their kids, who are humble, who understand the complexity of where their child is coming from, it makes our job that much easier. And,
I would argue in a lot of cases the parents are doing the bulk of the work.
Yeah.
And this is not minimizing Sinai and your staff, because your staff's incredible and well prepared to do what they're doing. And also, if no kids are alike and no personalities are the same, obviously, if there's then your program has to be tailored individually. Not that you don't have a basic program, but my point, of course, is that your experts, your staff, need to point out or need to discover what the best path is for each one of these young men or women.
Yeah. Often, I don't remember actually if this was on the dinner invitation, and I think that it's not, but a stat that we often share with the community is that we have a almost 1-to-1 student-teacher ratio, which is pretty incredible. When you put together, that doesn't mean that our students are always learning one-on-one every day. For the most part, they're not. But when you add in all of the teachers and the assistant teachers and the therapists and the administrators,
You need a lot of staff.
You need a lot of staff, and for two reasons. Number one, because our students are so complicated and they need to learn in a very individualized way. And secondly, because we have many different kinds of students, as I mentioned before in our school, and we want to make sure that each one of those students is getting everything that they need.
Right. How's your Sinai ambassador, Baruch Jungreis, doing? Is he doing well?
Baruch, you're listening out there.
Is he doing all right?
He is the best.
Because you know that you and I would be in serious trouble if we didn't work his name to this conversation somehow. So we've been yotze, as they say.
Speaking of parents who will do anything for their kids.
Not a joke. And they're wonderful friends of ours, and
Yes.
we can attest to the incredible work that they do on behalf of their children. All right, you got some great honorees. Yaakov Karasik, well-known certainly in the Bergen County community, but I think even beyond that. I think there are a lot of summer camp communities and programs in general that know Yaakov, and he's never been honored before by Sinai, huh?
He has never been honored.
So here we go. This is a big one.
Yaakov is...
I hope he's getting a good reaction out there. I hope people are coming for him.
He is. When I asked him to be honored, he was very humble about me. What about you? Don't need me. You need the guy next door. You don't need me. But I tried to explain to him that really so many people know about Sinai because of his ambassadorship, because of who he is. And he's a super friendly person that is well known by many people. What many may not know is that Yaakov and I are about the same age, and our parents built Sinai together. My mother as a professional, and Yaakov's parents, Mark and Linda, as lay leaders, and Sinai. Yaakov and I literally, grew up with Sinai, and Sinai, in a sense, grew up, with us in different ways. Yaakov as a student and alumnus, as an important member of the community. And me in my role, and we've remained very close friends over the years. And when we think about what we want the community to know about what we offer members of our school community and who they can become and shine. So Yaakov is a really great example of that.
Yeah, another great ambassador for Sinai. And you're right that when people meet him, they immediately see what Sinai is all about.
Right.
He's like one great promotional piece for Sinai. So Mazel Tov, Yaakov. Enjoy the dinner, a well-deserved honor. Elizabeth Kratz, who's been here as a guest in our studio, seems to be involved in the community like crazy. She's being recognized as well that night. Tell me about that.
So for those who don't know, Elizabeth Kratz is the, I think her title is, I might be messing it up, I think the associate publisher.
Yeah, I think she has like multiple titles there.
at the Jewish Link. And really professionally has given Sinai a unique voice in the community for people to be able to understand what we do in lots of different ways. She writes about our work often.
Oh, nice.
She personally, she's been a supporter of ours. Her husband, Alexander Alav Shalom, passed away exactly a year ago. His yahrzeit was yesterday.
Wow.
After a sickness, an illness. She has actually my next door neighbor, my across the street, neighbor. So we have a closeness.
Well, you're surrounded by the honorees.
I am, and she will be inaugurating the Alexander Kratz Scholarship Fund.
Wow.
Which really speaks a lot about Alexander, who was an MD, PhD, brilliant guy, and had multiple degrees and spent much of his life learning, both formally and informally. You walk into their house and just the amount of books on every subject that you could imagine. And so the reason why I'm sharing all that is because Alexander was somebody who's really dedicated to education. And that first year, I don't remember how many years ago, maybe it was 10, 15 years ago that he came to our dinner, just because he was part of the community and wanted to support the cause. He walked out, and as Elizabeth reports to us, he said, how could we, not give everything we have to Sinai? Look at the important cause that they're doing. So, Alexander's, dedication to education in general is something that hopefully will live on in the legacy of the scholarship.
It's going to be an emotional presentation. Wow.
Yeah.
And Ron and Diane Strobel are being recognized that night.
Yeah. So
Don't tell me the other next door neighbor.
No, they live in Englewood.
Oh, well. They're down the road.
They are examples of, when I was describing to you before about what our dinner is like, they're the people who have been there every year. They're people.
Community people.
They're just people who don't have a personal stake in the work that we do, but have recognized for many years about the work that we do, and we're grateful for their support and are honoring them for that.
The cost to keep all of this going is insane.
Yeah, it's exorbitant.
It is exorbitant. And anybody who's involved in Jewish education, we know that we get tremendous value for our dollar. I'm not minimizing that. I think we could all agree with that. But the dollars are voluminous.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dollars that are necessary. You get the Sinai and these experts and staff members and the program they have in place and the one-to-one and everything else you described. Obviously, it costs even more. So everybody out there, help Sinai continue to grow, help Sinai continue to provide all these services, help them continue to help the kids and the families. Go to SINAIdinner.org and make your reservation or donation. Again, SINAIdinner.org, and be there Sunday night, February 22nd at the Marriott Glen Point, when Yaakov Karasik, Elizabeth Kratz, and Ron and Diane Strobel are going to be honored, and the brand new documentary is going to be featured. It's a nice dinner, it's a pleasant dinner, and it's a very inspiring dinner, and that's the key. Over the years, I've always tried to promote and emphasize the inspiring dinners where you go, and I know that there's dinners where people, just go and enjoy the social thing, which is great. But when you leave and you are inspired, when you're speaking to your spouse in the car afterwards about the program, it was a good dinner.
It's a good dinner when the dean of Sinai Schools leaves the dinner inspired. And
That's great.
You spend so much time on preparing for the dinner and every word that's said and what's not said and how it's said and the order and the music and the feeling and everything. And I walk out and I say to my wife in the car ride home saying, well, we really do good work.
I love it.
Because sometimes you get stuck in the details and you take a step back and you realize, the power of what we're doing. It's really,
will Avi Vogel and Tzvi Solomon be in attendance at the dinner?
They better.
They will both be in attendance at the dinner. Both your past president and your current president.
Yes.
And I'd have to imagine, I can't possibly end this conversation without praising Tzvi. I have to imagine he's doing an amazing job.
Tzvi's amazing.
And he's just incredible.
How do you know Tzvi?
Well, he was a classmate of my Binyamin Segal.
That's right.
And they were very close in high school. And the Solomons and the Segals go way back.
Okay.
Ask Tzvi's father. We go way generations back.
Okay, we'll have to find out more about that.
But he's
amazing.
just spectacular.
He's a powerhouse. He's humble. He works so hard. He's really great at inspiring others. For this important work, so we're blessed to have him.
And he's fun. It's got to be nice and fun to work with him, frankly.
Yeah.
Rabbi Rothwachs, I hope that the dinner is a massive success.
Me too. Yes, thank you. As opposed to the way we started, where I said, "No, we don't need to raise any money."
That's correct. We've taken a complete U-turn here today. We've looked back at your capital campaign with TABC, but now we need to look forward at the campaign that Sinai's on, their annual campaign, and hope that people respond. SINAIdinner.org. SINAIdinner.org. If you have the time, February the 22nd, be at the Marriott Glen Point in Teaneck, New Jersey. You will consider it to be a really inspiring dinner, and it will encourage you to get even more involved with a great organization. Rabbi Rothwachs, anything else you'd like to add, sir?
No, thank you again for giving the voice to not just me, but on behalf of everybody else.
I appreciate that, and let me know if I could do anything in the future. I think your organization is spectacular, and I think what you and your partners' schools are doing is benefiting our community tremendously.
I'm glad you ended like that. They actually do deserve a tremendous amount.
The schools,
yeah,
I know that if you speak to any of the administrators in these schools, they talk about the positive aspect of having Sinai with them, which obviously is accurate. But it's also work. Yeah. It's work to do it together and to
and it's space that we're using it for sure.
So 100%. Kol hakavod. Again, I hope it's a successful dinner, and mazal tov to all the honorees. It's America's one and only Jewish Moments in the Morning radio program, heard on listener-sponsored digital radio around the world, the web at NachumSegal.com and the Nachum Segal Network, and of course, on the beloved NSN app.